Well, welcome everyone. Today, the reason of this meeting, we are going to be talking about the unions, and this is one of the many tables that we have. Is the cooperation between unions in Mexico, USA, and Canada. Right now, we've been having several of the tables talking about this matter. I think we're still kind of stuck about being in touch with enough unions that can be represented in these working groups, but we're still trying to do something to get better into that. Like for example, in Canada, the only one unit that we've been in kind of touch because they are not involved 100% on the working groups is the USFCA. And in the United States, the same. We are trying to reach unions to start doing the collaboration, and the thing is, we're still way behind that objective to reach that one. One of the things that I think I want to address this meeting is, since we don't have union representatives here, is something that we've been talking with Humberto, and yesterday we talked about that at 6 o'clock in this presentation of the labor rights in Canada, next to the USMCA, is the necessity to open an organization and a union, something like represent in Mexico, open that thing in Mexico and represent the workers in the United States. Maybe temporal workers, maybe undocumented workers. I mean, we need to try to see the mechanism to allow the immigrants in the United States and Canada to be represented for some instance. If it's possible in the United States and Canada, that could be great, will be great. But if not, in Mexico, I think it needs to be the possibility that all the immigrant workers belong to unions. This way, they're going to have somebody in Mexico that is going to be in touch with them and making sure that they are respecting their labor rights. Yesterday, we talked with a worker, Canadian working, Mexican, temporary working in Canada, that he was talking about. He signed a contract, but he is working already over there. But that contract is not the employer is not respecting that contract, and he's forcing to work more hours. I'm being in touch with another people in USA that they say that it's happening precisely the same. They are hired in Mexico, they sign a contract in Mexico, but once they go to United States, they start asking for more stuff they don't respect. I already prepared a series of presentation about labor rights. But one thing is that the people know the rights, but another thing is they enforce those rights. And I think that's why we need something to address that topic. Maybe Lourdes, she is working in the Secretariat of Immigrants in Michoacan. Maybe they are doing something in that secretariat to protect the immigrants that they are going from Michoacan to the United States with temporal permit work. And we need to know if they are doing something, and if it's not, we need to figure out what to do. The thing we will be talking with the Diputada Roselia is like she's insisting in the government assume the responsibility to take care of the workers in the United States or for immigrants. But the reality is, for many years, that's not been happening. Maybe it happened for a small portion of workers, but the majority, they are not protected whatsoever. So we need to address that, because we have like a Pedro Aces, who is with the CATEM, and he's saying that he has working with the unions in the United States. But the reality is that this is not helping to our community. The immigrants are still unprotected, and the labor rights they are being violated. So I don't know if Humberto wants to talk about one of the ideas that he had, that is like start trying to contact these temporal workers in the United States and Canada, have a directory here in Mexico to make sure that they know the rights and they have the information to reach help. I know that my experience in the United States is that regular workers, we can ask for a capacitation in our jobs from some institutions in the United States. But the thing here is, most of the immigrants, they think that that help is not applied for them, when the rights in the United States applies for everyone, no matter uh, their legal status. But we need to start to investigate more to see what we can do. I don't know if in Michoacan they are doing something. I don't know if we may know something about we can do about this. What do you think about this idea to make like a union in Mexico that protect the rights, the labor rights, and human rights from the immigrants in overseas? Mesu, go ahead.
Yeah, unless Umberto had something to say first.
No.
Okay. Well, there's two kinds of workers. Some of them that work in construction or other kinds of jobs, they are protected by their unions. And in the United States, several of the unions have been doing a pretty good job of stopping ICE from coming in and arresting workers that might not be documented. They might be documented, but they're stopping them and are speaking out in defense of them. So that's a good thing. The ones that are the worst off are agricultural workers, and unfortunately, they are not covered by the US by the T-MEC. So they don't have a right to file any kind of complaints that they're being mistreated by agribusiness. And then in the United States, most of them are H-2A workers, and they have contracts with a specific company, and they're not allowed to change jobs. And because of that, they're subject to a lot of abuse. The person who knows a lot about that is Maria Elena Valdivia, who I think is part of these tables, Diego, because she herself was an H-2A worker. She knows that the recruiters in Mexico are often very corrupt. And after they bring a worker in, they'll have them do illegal things, work more hours, take another job that's actually illegal. They won't get in trouble, the recruiters, but the worker can. So
I think this we
uh,
start. We're
Immigrant,
yes. We have problems with the last thing that you say
Maria
because
Elena.
you got freeze. You want to repeat that? We were talking about Maria Elena. She has experience at that because she was part of the
Yes,
H2A.
we did an interview with her that I can share with people where she talks about how the recruiters are really, they're just making money themselves, but they themselves are exploiting the workers. So the companies hire these recruiters, but they're allowed to do all kinds of corrupt things at the expense of the workers. So that's something that we need to fix within the United States. I think both countries need to advocate for a better way to have temporary workers come and go from the United States and Canada as well. So I also want to just say there's a couple of places where there is tri-national union discussion. One is the People's Movement for Peace and Justice. Elena and I and Aaron Ortiz Santos are all part of that effort. And there are Canadian unions involved in that, as well as, especially the UAW has been very involved, but mostly with a view to reforming the USMCA. The other thing is the Mexico Solidarity Project has a labor committee that also has independent union people from Mexico. unionists from the United States and a little bit of participation from Canada. And if people want to know about that, they're always welcome to join us. On Tuesday, we're going to have a presentation by Luis Espinosa, who is the UAW representative of the UAW in Mexico, and what their ideas are for reform of the USMCA. And then we'll have a discussion from auto workers in Mexico. Hector de la Cueva from CELAS will be there, and hopefully maybe somebody from Unifor in Canada. So anyway, those are other tables where all three countries' unions are together. And so, there's maybe too many tables, Diego, but what is it that each one can contribute to making the ties stronger between all three? And your idea of some kind of agency in Mexico itself to provide more protection is good. But like I say, the H-2A workers are under contract, which is a legal contract, and there's not a lot that Mexico can do to defend them without really dismantling this program.
Well, what time is gonna be the presentation on Tuesday?
It's at 6 o'clock Mexico time, and I can put that in the chat.
Uh-huh. Yes. See what you can do to be on that one. And the idea of this working table is like, for example, that MSP is doing a terrific job about these matters. It's like to promote because. I don't know anything. I do this because it's the way to be finding people that know exactly this matter good, and I know what Luis Espinosa is really good on that. And so maybe if maybe I don't want to be able to join that because I have another meetings, but maybe like Lourdes, that she is from the Secretariat of the Immigrants in Michoacan, maybe she can join you and she learn about what's going on. And this is the idea to promote what all of you are doing. I think this is a good idea to start listen to you that you are doing a really good job on that. About this situation about the organization in Mexico, well, as you say, one of the problems is the corruption is in Mexico, and we need to fight with that. We need to create something that um, trying to make sure that is not way to be corrupted. But it's kind of difficult. But I think we need to start doing that. And more than the organization that helping get involved with that, it's like following the people that they are going to work over there. Because now this project that I just say the visa, the H2A, we can get rid of that. But even if we don't get rid of that, I think we can start being in touch with these workers that are going with under this visa, and start making sure, asking them, hey, you are doing okay? In case of no, trying to find the way to make sure to protect their rights. I think we need to find a formula to do that. It's not like a union that is going to be in Mexico demanding something in the United States, but like maybe with the connection that we have with unions in all those three countries, maybe we can find a way to help them. So I think it is kind of difficult, but I think it is one of the something that I've been talking with Humberto, that is precisely that, to know, because we don't know how many people is over there. We don't know what are the real problems. We know when it's too late, when they already are back and when they are not going to be hired anymore. So I think we need to do something different. I don't know if you want to talk about something about this, Humberto.
See, let me start by saying that what we know, people that are in unions and people that works among labor, organized labor, uh, sometimes we're not in tune what the workers down in the down on an unorganized way um, need to do. Okay, so when we're talking about organizing, basically farm workers that come under H2A. That's a big challenge. That's a big challenge because you don't have to be in a union to get organized. You have to start putting your uh, your unity of the workers, your demands exactly where you need to be with the boss. Okay, so right now, I think we've done a very good job. There's things that are better than they were before when we started the T-MEC, the Tratado. There's things that we can do better. Before, nobody talked about H-2A workers. Now, everybody knows about what H-2A worker is. Okay. The second thing is that the conditions we think that they are very bad in comparison to the organized people, but the workers believe that they have a good job in comparison to the job in Mexico. So the conscience of the people is the one that we have to fight. We have to continue educating ourselves. How many employers? For example, in the H-2A worker, there is half a million workers right now in the United States working temporary under these visas, and there's 10,000 companies, and they have the owners of this visa have is like an industry. It's not like they got political power. They have a process. They have rules. They have petitions. They have everything in their hands to make sure that they got mobilized people from south to north in a regular basis, in a very systematic basis, exploiting people. And because the people are not, it's better what they come from, where they're going to, well, they don't feel like they're getting exploited. You die in the field, well, let's put together a little money here, little money there to pick you back and give it to your family. There is no conscience about you die in the job. You have rights. You have insurance. You have to have a willingness to make sure that nobody dies. And then if you have an accident, well, they then just give you a little anesthesia or whatever, and that's it. They don't, and the workers don't. They're not conscious that they have the right to get doctors, to get medicine, and to get the same thing than anybody in the United States, because they come from conditions that are different. So what they value is to have a visa and to get the visa. But now there is another complication: the mobilization of people from one place to another. Uh, it's very dangerous, because you have a president in the United States that says that we're terrorists, and then if you take out all these workers, I have a million workers, and 20% of them come from the areas where the cartels are very strong, and they infiltrate those mobilization of people. They got 20% going into the United States with a visa. So it's a complicated situation, because because you don't control it, neither United States or Mexico control this. Then you're given an opportunity to try to invade Mexico, if because this is happening, and the system permits it. So it's a complication, not only exploitation from the employers and abuse from the employers, without nobody being in the middle, only to make sure that you come and go and you get paid and you work, and that's it. But if you get sick, if you die, if you need vacation, if you need anything, you don't have any vehicle that can talk about you. And sometimes the government, in my experience, two cases. One worker died in Washington State, and the American consul, the Mexican consul, worked with the employer to get the body back to Mexico in a very fast way, not investigating, not doing anything, but just getting rid of the problem. So you have, it looks like you have collaboration from the Department of Labor of Mexico with the Department of Labor of Canada, for example. Collaboration for clear exploitation. So the goal here is that the once you have AFL-CIO, once you have the Teamsters trying to put the resources and trying to investigate, trying to work politics, you have another element. The unorganized in Mexico with a new reform is trying to organize an independent unions. So all these elements, it's a lot of things that as a worker, a farm worker, doesn't even have an idea of how to start doing this. So it's not easy. You have to have a lot of education, a basic education, like the one that in Chicago has been doing through organizations there, where they talking about labor rights, labor rights, labor rights, labor rights, and that will help change the conscience of the people. But anyway, I think that doing in a three-way where unions in Canada, unions in Mexico, and hopefully unions all over Latin America start talking about this mobilization, this immigration that's taking place. It's important because now we're facing that Mexico, Morena, and our presidenta, has to deal with what rights are we going to give to the transmigrantes, the ones that go through here in the States in Mexico? Are we going to give them citizenship? Are we going to treat them equally? Are we going to give them the respect and everything that against what some of them say that they take our jobs now in Mexico? So those are questions that we have to resolve, and we have to educate our politicians to understand and our workers to be part of an organized labor movement. That's what I think.
Thank you, Humberto. Yes, y bueno, Meiso ya puso ahí la entrevista con María Elena Valdivia para que la revisen. Igual puse en este caso para Mariana, la liga de registro a las mesas de trabajo. Eso es para asegurarnos de que pues están sus nombres, pero también que les llega la información sobre estas mesas. Well, going back to the topic, I think the idea that Humberto is saying that is we need to start having some information. There will be too many efforts to know exactly what's going on with the temporal work in the United States. And I think this is the opportunity to start doing something. Maybe we can start in Canada, because it's less population over there with temporary working. Most of them, they are going with the contract. So I think it is more easy to manage the number of information that we can be reaching. In order to do that, we need to be in touch with unions. As I say, right now, the only union that I've been in touch with Roselia is the UFCW. But we need to try to reach other ones, because one of the people that have been on these working groups, like Raúl Gatica from Dignidad Migrante, he is saying that the UFCW represents just a small number of workers in Canada. So, but the thing it is, we need to reach as many unions over there, and we are trying to schedule a visit to Canada with our Diputada Roselia and maybe other deputies that they want to join us on these working groups to Canada, start doing that. So I think we can start trying to find the way. Maybe you can help me with that, be in touch with these unions, ask them if they are willing to meet with the deputies here from Mexico, and talking about what they want to be talking about exactly. What is the agenda of these unions? Here in these working tables with Humberto, we've been thinking about, or maybe you can do this kind of organization. In this organization, no a private organization, it's something that is going to be in touch with the deputies. So that's why we want to bring deputies. So this way is going to be some kind of I don't know, trust from the people to say, okay, I know why I'm doing this because the deputies they are behind this. But the same, we know that a lot of people, they don't trust all legislators and the senators because we have people like Pedro Aces. But I think we really need to start building something, because if not, it's going to happen. It's going to be these deputies. They're going to be out in 2 more years. The senators in 6 years. But we're going to have to start all over again. I think we have enough time for this the next 2 years that we have this legislation in place. I think we can start doing this. I don't know if Mariana, Lourdes, you want to add something about this? You have a question? Maybe, I don't know, if in Michoacán, in la Secretaría del Migrante, they are doing something to be in touch with the people that they are going to with the work permits to United States or Canada. I don't know, you want to, or in Querétaro, as Zulma is where she's pretty much doing a lot of stuff over there. Yeah. No sé si quisieran agregar algo ahí, Mariana, Lourdes, en su experiencia. Lourdes, adelante.
Pues
Sí,
mira, ay, perdón.
Adelante, Lourdes, después
Sí,
Marina.
gracias.
va- sí, pues justamente creo que existe una limitante en la capacidad de respuesta en tanto parte de las instancias gubernamentales, al menos a lo que me ha tocado presenciar aquí en el estado de Michoacán, referente al tema principalmente a los trabajadores migrantes hacia Canadá, porque para el tema de Estados Unidos, pues creo que ya se existe un conocimiento un poco más amplio del tema de defensas de los derechos, del tema de, por ejemplo, algún tipo de apoyo referente a servicios federales, cosas así. Aquí en el tema específico para los trabajadores de Canadá, en mi oficina, por ejemplo, se presentó un caso en donde un trabajador quería reclamar pues algún tipo de pensión o seguimiento a su trabajo realizado por más de 10 años allá en Canadá y que por la edad le habían comentado que ya era candidato a hacer un trámite así. Entonces, aquí lo que pasó es que lo direccionaron a la instancia de la Secretaría del Empleo, donde le comentaban, no, pues si no tienes seguro social aquí en México, pues es como si nunca hubieras trabajado, ¿no? Entonces, nosotros no podemos hacer nada. Entonces, básicamente creo que se limita mucho el apoyo en tanto brincar de instancia a instancia y no contar con la capacitación adecuada para justamente apoyarlos tanto a los que están allá como los que retornan, ¿no? Porque pues ellos también tienen el derecho de accesar a este tipo de beneficios que al final de cuentas fueron acreedores por todo el trabajo que realizaron.
Así es. Entonces, básicamente, la ayuda que da o la que puede dar el gobierno dentro de México es pues lo que incumbe en México, y a veces como lo veo yo, el enterarse demasiado tarde, pues aquí ya no pueden hacer nada para interferir allá. Creo yo, por eso la necesidad, o no sé cómo lo veas tú desde la Secretaría, el que estuviera una organización trabajando de la mano con el gobierno, para prevenir y que estos derechos a los que muchos de estos migrantes tienen, ahora sí que todo el derecho de reclamarlos, les ayuden allá, porque el gobierno no creo que pueda ayudar allá. Ahí tendría que ser un agente externo, ¿no? Alguien de por allá. No sé si
Sí,
por ahí, sí, ¿no? ¿Es así?
sí, justamente, o sea, que exista una instancia bilateral que tanto aquí como allá pueda estar atendiendo ese tipo de asuntos, porque al final del día es lo que nosotros comentamos, es diferente las circunstancias cuando estás en el lugar donde estás solicitando, no sé, la pensión, ¿no? Que ahí tienen el conocimiento completo, pueden ir a tocar la puerta del lugar adecuado, que nosotros estando desde México somos ajenos al manejo, ¿no? De cómo lo hacen en otro país, pero no somos ajenos en el hecho de cooperar entre las instancias, ¿no?
Ujú, perfecto. Ok, gracias. Humberto, y después, ¿va con relación con
Sí,
esto? Ok.
me da el gusto que está Lourdes con nosotros, porque es un tema muy interesante, el cómo hemos ido avanzando para llegar al punto donde estamos, pero estamos donde mismo, donde empezamos. En otras palabras, la atención a migrantes de los estados ha sido una lucha de conseguir los derechos desde mucho antes, desde el rey del tomate, por tener una legislatura, a tener poder político, a tener ahorita a gente en el gobierno. y en general son muchos los tópicos, pero todo esto lo hacíamos nosotros voluntariamente desde las organizaciones. O sea, por ejemplo, el tener una visa de turista para ver a los familiares que no tenían papeles, pues es una cosa que nosotros veníamos haciendo de toda la vida y ya el gobierno empieza a tomar la iniciativa de que hay abusos, de que no que el gobierno tiene los recursos para juntar esos grupos y llevarlos y protegerlos y hacer se hagan las cosas bien. Y eso eso es lo ideal. Es lo mismo como, por ejemplo, ahorita las repatriaciones. Hay un número de gente que saca beneficios repatriando gente y el gobierno tampoco puede repatriarlo. Y se soluciona con vender la póliza para repatriar, que es muy barata ya a través del gobierno. Igual pasaba con otras actividades que la doble nacionalidad. O sea, todavía en Michoacán, pues tienes que traer apostillado y tienes que tener cuestiones de traducciones para que tus hijos que nacieron en Estados Unidos puedan tener un pasaporte o tener un acta de nacimiento de Michoacán. ¿Por qué? Porque no hemos llegado o sea, poco a poco vamos avanzando en todas estas cosas. Y hoy sigo insistiendo, la base de esto es tener fuerza en lo organizativo laboral, en lo que es legal primero. ¿Por qué? Porque pues todos los comerciantes mexicanos que tienen negocios en Estados Unidos han usado a los coyotes para llevar a un indocumentado que trabajen con ellos. Entonces, no puedes ser candil de la casa, como dicen, un dicho que hay, que no puedes ir por delante y protegerte por detrás. O sea, tenemos que basarnos que atención a migrante o sea, debe de controlar qué gente sale de Michoacán con una visa de trabajo, pero debe de tener el objetivo de ponérsela esa visa de trabajo con un acompañamiento laboral, con una organización laboral de ellos, no del gobierno y no del patrón, porque eso es lo que pasa con las agencias de colocación. Entonces, la Constitución de México lo dice claramente, todo contrato de trabajo celebrado entre un extranjero y un mexicano deberá de ser ratificado por la autoridad municipal competente. Entonces, ahí la atención a migrantes en el Estado es muy importante que tome esa conciencia, que luche por eso, porque todos dicen, bueno, ya conseguimos las visas, ya vamos para allá, pero nadie regresa y dice, bueno, ¿cuáles son las condiciones? ¿Cómo las vamos a pelear? Y ahí el gobierno no puede hacer nada. Podemos hacer una queja, pero no puede hacer nada. Necesitamos la organización, necesitamos el contrato colectivo de trabajo a nivel patrón, y eso es lo que tenemos que hacer conciencia entre nuestra gente, porque mientras que no sepan para qué sirve un sindicato o un contrato colectivo, pues seguimos pobres, seguimos sin entender la lucha. Pero bueno, me da mucho gusto que está Lourdes aquí porque pues esos son los frutos de la gente que hemos venido para que ellos con el valor que tienen sigan luchando y aquí estamos para ayudar.
Gracias,
Gracias.
Humberto. Mariana, ibas a decir algo?
Ay. Bueno, en realidad mi comentario era, pues es un tema pues, muy, muy grande. Aquí en San Juan, pues no tenemos mucho con la oficina que esté en función, tenemos poco tiempo y pues yo creo que la base de todo, pues es tener el conocimiento para poder orientar y ayudar, ¿no? Que es el objetivo de la oficina. Este, yo considero que sí se requiere, pues, la capacitación, como bien lo comentaba la señorita Lourdes, en bilateral, ¿no? O sea, de aquel lado lo que se sabe, de este lado lo que es, y tener pues ese apoyo para poder apoyar de este lado también a quienes acudan a las oficinas y poder pues dejar el buen sabor de boca y la buena orientación, ¿no? Dejarlo de brincar de oficina en oficina y que podamos resolver desde aquí en dónde es, a dónde se tienen que dirigir, qué es lo que se tiene que hacer, la documentación que se tenga que llevar para evitar esas vueltas que aturden, que cansan y que hacen un trabajo un poco más pesado. Entonces, bueno, pues con la disponibilidad de aprender, de aprenderles, pues es muy básico realmente mi conocimiento en este tema.
Bueno, perfecto, pero fíjate, y es importante, que bueno que no lo dices, porque creo que los casos que les llegan a ustedes normalmente ya son casos que muchas veces ya no se puede hacer nada porque ya están acá. Y lo que ustedes pueden ayudarse es lo que está acá, pero también ahí igual, para invitarlos a sumarse en este proyecto y en esta lluvia de ideas, en base a la experiencia de las personas que vienen, buscan nuestra ayuda, a quienes podemos ayudar, a quienes no. El por qué no es muchas veces porque la ayuda se tuvo que haber dado allá, y obviamente muchos no denuncian. Ayer lo teníamos, ¿no? Ayer se estaba, desde el punto de vista, como presionando a la persona que nos estaba visitando de Canadá para que proporcionara pruebas y todo, y eso a sabiendas de que si lo hace, lo más seguro es que va a haber repercusiones en contra de él. Son cosas que sabemos que pasan, pero que igual, como no están documentadas, pues no se les da el seguimiento que debería. Por ello es la importancia de tener una organización de los mismos trabajadores, que ellos sean los que se mantienen a sí mismos, pero que va a haber una ayuda oportuna antes de que sea demasiado tarde para que se puedan resolver estos problemas. Eh, no sé si alguien tenga algo más aquí. Yo ahí lo que pediría, y vuelvo al inglés. I think we can, to start closing this reunion, is trying to think about the best way to do this kind of organization, as I say, union organization or whatever, that protects the immigrant workers in the United States. Not only those ones that go with the H-2A visa. I mean, we can be on this one. It should be open for even for immigrants that they have no documentation over there, the undocumented immigrants. So to know that they can be part of something in Mexico that is being protecting their rights in the United States and Canada. Because and for you, Maisu, I think with most of the things that you've been doing about labor rights and all this, and the revision of the USMCA, we know that it's a lot of stuff that they are out of the USMCA. So, and I don't think that, like the people from the agriculture, I don't think they are going to change something, because United States, this been making a lot of money this way. So that's not gonna change. But we need to find the mechanism to change these things, to start protecting people, and not keep waiting for they change something on the USMCA. You go ahead, Aaron. Welcome, by the way.
Gracias, buenas tardes, perdón que llegué un poco tarde. Nice to see you. Bueno, básicamente tengo yo una pregunta. Las personas que llegan con la visa de trabajo, la H2A, la H1B o lo que sea, ellos pagan impuestos aquí. En algunos casos, cuando vienen con compañías grandes, hay unos acuerdos para evitar la doble tributación y pagan aquí, pero no pagan en México. Yo creo que ahí hay una parte, y corríjanme si estoy mal, porque en eso yo no soy especialista ni tengo el conocimiento completo, es mera lógica. Pero así como la gente se le paga impuestos o se le descuenta para pagar impuestos, también qué pasa con lo de la pensión, ¿sí? Eh, la persona debería de haber un esquema para que estén aquí indocumentados o con visa, se pudiera desarrollar algún esquema para que pudieran tener una pensión, tal vez no aquí por el tema de estatus, pero en México empezar a tener esa pensión. Eso sería una situación. Dos, tristemente todo el tiempo que estamos hablamos con el tema de las visas de trabajo, lo que orilla que la gente, pues hablamos de pura gente que está regular en los Estados Unidos. Es un problema también porque no están en una condición súper, pero de menos están en un estatus. Aquí hay una situación que hemos estado, y lo comenté con Diego, estuvimos en Washington el lunes, precisamente presentando, es un programa de movilidad humana para que pudiera nuestra comunidad, tanto los ciudadanos de los tres países, pudiera haber un esquema de movilidad humana para poder trabajar sin tanta complicación burocrática, legal, sin miedo, y lo estuvieron viendo con buenos ojos porque hay ya eh, 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 ya hay un convenio que tienen los Estados Unidos firmado con 3 islas del Pacífico para este tema de la movilidad. O sea, es un tema similar a los que tiene la Unión Europea, que no importa la ciudadanía, la persona puede trabajar en otro país miembro, y ahí se está inclusive proponiendo el tipo de una creación de una tarjeta para poder realizar esta situación. Ahí también yo les suplicaría, cuando estemos viendo lo de los temas del T-MEC, siempre se maneja el tema de que nos den más visas de trabajo. Pues sí, pero ¿y qué pasa con nuestra gente que está aquí? No debemos de olvidarlos porque pues finalmente estamos aquí con ellos, y pues el dolor es mucho y esto no va a bajar. Gracias. Y ya me callo.
Gracias, Aaron. Bueno, no sé si alguien más tenga algo que decir. Anything else do you want uh, to say? Maybe you, Meisu, something that you want to?
No, I
No.
completely agree with Aaron that that is what we need is mobility between the 3 countries. That's it.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and something I think with as soon as I can, I'm gonna set up a meeting for the USMCA because it's a good idea what he's talking about. Why we don't bring the USMCA, the proposal of the try to start reaching undocumented workers over there and make an arrangement. Say we're gonna give you a permit, work permit for this many years, but after that you need to go back to your country, and you became legal. It's saving a lot of money for U.S. government because I stopped spending money. I know with Trump doesn't want to do that, but maybe that's an option. I say instead, like Trump is saying, deport yourself. Is not just come out of the shadows, register. You're gonna have a work permit for these many years, and after that, you need to go back to your country. And this is gonna be something that's gonna help a lot of people. Because I know with many Mexicans, they want to stay in the United States because they already have family over there, but there are others that they are not, that they are willing to come back to their country, and they have enough time to do something. I think that could be something interesting to talk about it in the USMCA work group. But in this about the unions, I think we know that there's many immigrants workers over there that they are not joining in unions. I think it's a good idea to create one, because one of the things that happen is and this is one of the things I don't understand, because they sign a contract here in Mexico, they go and work with a work permit over there in the United States or Canada. So that means that under Mexican law they should be protected because they signed the contract in Mexico. So they should be joining the IMSS, the Infonavit, and all the programs, the social programs that the government that give, because they are signing the contract here in Mexico. I think we need to review that too as well. And in this way, they should be able to join a union, create a union, the immigrant union, that they take care of each other with the help of the state. I think I don't know what you think about that, but I think we can start thinking about this and bring some ideas for the next work meeting about the unions. Okay, so if nobody has anything else to say, I'm gonna recommend you to read the bulletin from Mexican Solidarity Project, where Meisu made an interview to Aaron Ortiz. There's a bulletin that is in Spanish and English, so you can just check it on the on the link that is in the chat, and I'm gonna make sure everybody have that today on their all that information. Well, I need to stop talking right now. Thank you so much. I'll see you in a little bit today at 6 o'clock.
You need to start to drink tequila or mezcal.
I don't drink anymore, but yes, it's a good idea. But sadly, I stopped drinking. That's why I'm in Mexico, because I drink too much in the United States and the police catch me. So I stopped drinking. But I'm going to try to do something. Today we have, we're going to keep talking about the labor rights in Canada today. Let me just check. Yes, we have the permits, trabajadores temporales en Canadá. That's we're going to be talking about. Hoy a las 6 hablamos de eso. A las 8 tenemos una reunión para reforma electoral. Es con un grupo nuevo que se nos acaba de unir aquí a las mesas de trabajo y pidieron ese horario. Entonces vamos a hacer una explicación de en qué vamos con la reforma electoral. Igual si pueden llegar, 8 de la noche, tiempo de la Ciudad de México. Mañana a la 1 de la tarde, Electoral Reform. This is a table that I'm trying to address to the second and third generation of Mexicans in the United States. Pretty much I invite people from the DSA that they've been involved to many things, but they don't know that all the U.S. citizens that they are ascended from Mexican, they can request their Mexican citizenship and they can participate on the political life in Mexico. So that's going to be tomorrow 1 p.m. Y el viernes a las 3 de la tarde, mesa de mujer migrante. Hemos hablado muy poco de ello, entonces lo retomamos el tema. No me queda más que agradecerles que me hayan acompañado en esta ocasión y pues nos vemos en un ratito o mañana. Que tengan bonita tarde.
Thank you. See you.